Yo, 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 it's D.Arthur in the building, speaking to you guys today about why semen retention is the actual superpower for man. No cap. A lot has been said about semen retention. It's cope. Guys aren't actually getting any, so they're just saying that they're on semen retention to, justify themselves. A lot has been said about it. Now, the thing is, it really comes down to, and there will be critics. There's always an argument for everything. There's always an argument for everything. But it comes down to where you stand for yourself. Because people make the argument that people who go on semen retention are saying that they're going on semen retention because they haven't gotten any. So they're just going to say that they're going on semen retention. Now that just goes to show how much you value S3X, how much you value it. Because the thing is, they even say guys, it doesn't matter who a guy does it with. It more matters for the woman because she's the one who's going through that emotional thing. And the thing is, because I talked to guys recently and they're saying that they relapsed with a woman, that they weren't so sold on, and they felt empty after. Usually this is what happens to guys. This is usually what happens to guys when they do it. Now the thing is, like, you have to do it with someone you have some real good relationship with. That's what I've noticed. You have a good relationship with. You're okay with being with her. But the whole hook up culture, that one night stand type thing. It's like, bro, after you bust a nut, it's like what else? Like, there's a mentor who said, what's on the other side of you having S3X with her? And your competition is focused in on their goals. Meanwhile, you're just out here giving it to anybody that you can get. This is what you have to realize. You have to realize this. So it really, like I said before, it really depends where you put how much you value the S3X, how much you actually value that on your set of values. There's people who value money. There's people who value relationships. There's people who value having a family. There's people who value just straight up their looks, also known as the black pill. There's people who value dominance and just respect. Where do you value certain things in your life? And don't let anybody else tell you what you should value. Your values should be your own. It should be true to you. You have to live authentically to yourself. Once you're able to live authentically for yourself, regardless what anybody else says, you can live with yourself. You're okay with yourself because you're doing these things for yourself. Because at the end of the day, let's be honest here. At the end of the day, you're the one who sleeps on his bedside and is thinking about his life. Usually nobody else is thinking about your life except for you. So because you're the main character of your life, you have to put your foot down, and you have to make sure the things that you value are given the most importance, regardless of what anybody else is telling you. This is what you have to realize, because there's going to be gurus online. There's going to be influencers. There's going to be a lot of people, a lot of guys, anybody, content creators, all these other guys. They're going to tell you what you need to value. They're going to tell you exactly what you need to value, what is important to you. That's what they're going to tell you. And like I said, even they also have the argument that you need to everything needs to be level-headed. Meaning you have to have a level. Everything needs to be taken care of in the same way in terms of aspects of your life. This is what they're telling you. And on the shallow surface, on the three-dimensional perspective, this seems like good advice because, sure, they're saying things like you need to be well-rounded. You have all these things checked off in your life. You need to be a very well-rounded individual. And like I said, this is when someone hears it from who has never heard of this before. Someone tells you about this, they're gonna say, "Hey, that is good advice." And sure, that can come across as good advice. But what I am trying to say is, you need to know what is important to you, because if you're, putting things that are, you're making everything well-rounded in your life, you're putting attention on every single thing, you have to realize what is important to you and what your values are. Don't let anybody else tell you what your values are. The bottom line is, you need to think for yourself, and you need to have, there's also nothing wrong with failure. They have these things, the people have made it seem like if you fail, like you're just doing something wrong and everything is just very bad with you and you're just a weird person for failing. And the bottom line is, failure is actually the prerequisite to success. You need to fail multiple times to get to the point that you need to be. This is just kind of how it goes. Unless you have a mentor who's already been there and you're just copying them, and then you're copy and pasting what they're doing, then you're gonna get to a place quicker. But usually, if you're doing it on your own, more likely you're gonna have to fail, learn, and then implement. This is usually what you have to realize. So the reason why seed retention is the ultimate superpower for man is because it gives you this masculine energy, this sense of drive. It also makes you a little bit more patient. It also makes you realize what is important to you. As I'm tying this back to what I said before, you have to realize what is important to you and what your values are. The reason why it makes things important to you, or it makes you focus on what's important to you, is because there's a lot of guys who are going to tell you there's different things that you need to, get up in your life. And sure, this is on the surface, like I said before, this is good advice. But when it comes down to it, when you're sleeping on your pillow, what is important to you? That is what you need to hone in on. Because at the end of the day, you have all these guys telling you what you need to be focused on. You have to have these things. But at the end of the day, you have to realize, bro, you're going to be gone from this earth one day, and you have to do things that are important to you, that you find real fulfillment in, because you have to realize they're just people on a screen telling you how you should live your life. You, at the end of the day, have to tell yourself what you actually believe in and what you actually find fulfillment in. This is when you can actually be truly happy with yourself. If you don't endorse it, then it's really no point into even entertaining it, because you're going to be leaving Earth some way, somehow. So the reason why seed retention is the ultimate superpower for men is because it makes you look at life maybe in a different way. It gives you a chance where you can step back, look at what's really important to you, and then hone in on it 24/7. And regardless of what anybody tells you, regardless of what anybody is saying, you don't care as much, because you actually have the things that you want. You're actually going for the things that you want in life, and that is the most satisfying thing, regardless of what anybody is telling you. You have to go after things that you are dearly into, you are truly fulfilled into, because there's going to be a lot of people, internet gurus, who are going to tell you you're not good enough. You are not good enough. Sure, take their advice, you're not good enough. But what is your value system? What are the things that you value? These are the things that you have to be going after day in and day in. This is how you can find fulfillment. Fulfillment is more important than just having all these check boxes in different areas of your life. You got to be fulfilled, because then if you're fulfilled, you can storytell, you can tell people about why you're so okay with yourself, regardless whatever anybody says. You got to realize this. Seed retention makes you take a step back, makes you look at your life, tell you how you're going to treat certain things in your life based off what your value in it is. And this also comes down to how you may even treat women. You have to treat women with how you value them. Treat them with your, if there is a certain girl who's important to you, regardless of what they're telling you, all these different tactics that you can do, if you truly find value in her, go ahead and treat her as if you value her. If you value her, then things are going to be okay. This is what you have to realize. You can't come across as someone who's needy. Just realize that you value. If you value this, then it's okay. Then it's what you have to pay attention to. If that makes sense, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Check out the end-to-end presentation I have put together called the High Value Custom Coaching Program to help you get more motivation and fulfillment in your life. Really help hone in on what your values are so you can go after it. And we will see you in the next one.